You are now listening to the Bullseye Podcast, brought to you by AFI Advisors. Sit back, get comfy, and keep all arms and legs inside the vehicle when in motion. And now, here is Josh, Peter, and Brian.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Bullseye Podcast, brought to you by AFI Advisors. This is Josh Shores. I am Director of Marketing and Development here at AFI. I'm really happy to have my buddy Brian back.
Hey, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, Brian's been gone for half a month, but not a big deal. He's got a good doctor's excuse. But we're really excited. We have a really close friend of ours joining us today, Mr. Jerry Headrick.
Hey, guys. Happy to be here.
Papa Bear Jerry.
Kind of not sure how this is going to work today, but I'm here, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun because you guys are always a lot of fun.
So how many years was it when we all met? Would you have thought that you would be sitting in a podcast with us?
No.
Yeah, it's been several years. Jerry, now you're, running the food truck for Phil's Dream Pit, which we're super pumped about.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Super pumped about. I know you're doing some work with Almond Enterprises as well. You're kind of a man of many talents. We've known you through several things and positions. And one thing I've always loved about Jerry is, and I don't know if I've ever told you this or not, so this will be live.
You've never said anything really nice to me before, so probably haven't.
That's how you know he likes you, though.
That's true. If I'm not ripping on you, I don't like you. But one thing I thought was neat about Jerry is a lot of times in your signature or your title of whatever you're doing, it'll say like consultant and friend.
Right.
I love
cool.
that. Yeah, it's really nice touch.
I've always figured that if I can't be friends with you, I probably don't want to do business with you.
Right. So there you go. There's my nice thing, Jerry.
Enjoy it.
Josh.
You'll get another one in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Jerry, before we get deep into your neck of the woods, there's a lot of publicity, a lot of tweets going out. Do they call them tweets anymore? What do they call them?
I don't think they're called X's.
X's?
I don't know. Tweets works. We still know that.
Please let us know what they're called.
If there's
we
a
don't
Generation
know.
Alpha out there, if you could correct us, that would be nice.
Calling all Gen Alphas. We need your help. Okay. There's a lot of publicity, pictures going around. Brian had a baby. It's kind of a big deal.
It was mostly Lacey.
Lacey kind of had the baby, but Brian helped.
Wow, congratulations,
Thank you.
man. I don't know that I knew that.
Yeah, so...
Surprise!
He was born on the 9th. And I got back to work yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a little boy.
Yeah, his name's Bruce.
Bruce.
Yep, he's
Bruce Lee.
yeah.
Bruce
Bruce
Wayne.
Elliott Brummett. He's really chill baby. Thank God he takes after my wife instead of me. His favorite things are being sung Beatles songs. His least favorite thing is being naked.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't take after his dad on that one, I guess.
On the Beatles song or the naked thing?
Yeah.
That's really funny. He's got a head full of hair, it looks like.
Yeah, he's got more hair than you, but maybe more than me too.
That was rude.
I think I told you this maybe the last time you were here, but we always joke around about how we thought how we would see Brian's child coming into the world. And it's with, some black rim glasses and a calculator and like a spreadsheet.
Josh has even offered to teach me how to throw.
He came to me and was like, Josh, what do I do if he wants to play sports? I was like, Brian, call me. I got you. I got you. We're good. Well, that's cool. So we're all dads.
Yeah.
It's like the dad's club.
Congratulations, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's really cool.
It was not a fun experience at first, but it's turning into one.
Yeah. And everybody's healthy.
Everybody's
and all
happy.
good.
Everybody's healthy. We've had a lot of support. It's been really nice. Yeah. It's nothing like knowing who your friends are in the community and everything when people, genuinely care. That's been really nice.
Yeah,
well,
cool.
So that'd be a fun topic. Jerry, do you got any good dad stories? You've been dadding the longest out of this pod of people.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids. They're all with J's. Of course, my name is Jerry, and then I've got James and Jeff and Jenna. All of my dad stories, most of them are with the boys, because I spent a lot of time scouting with them, and so I have a lot of scouting stories. I got to do Philmont Scout Ranch with both of them and do some really cool things. My younger son, Jeff, he always seemed to learn what not to do by watching his older brother. So when his older brother got in trouble for something, he knew not to do that. So most of the time it seemed like he got in less trouble. But one day both my sons were out in the yard playing with a neighbor kid. And neighbor kid's yard was fenced in, but it was the kind of fence that had slots in it, and they're out there playing and carrying on, and all of a sudden I see a little hand pop through the fence and shoot somebody the bird. and I called out, Jeff, and that hand went whoop, right back at it.
Talk about a plot twist. That escalated quickly.
And that just stuck with me as one of the funniest things. Seeing that hand pop through the fence,
and then right back.
And then as soon as I called his name, it was
Jeff.
like whoop.
Learn your manners, Jeff.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's a good one. I wasn't going to tell this story because my child is going to die if he knows that I tell this story.
Because no one listens to this podcast.
He actually does, only because he's got like a teeny bit of, he's done the intro and stuff.
Yeah,
he likes to listen to himself. It's kind of like his dad. But Jerry had such a good story. I feel like now I got to tell mine, but mine's going to be quick, and I apologize to my child in advance. But we were at the lake several years ago. Nolan was maybe like 5 or 6. He was still really little. And we had pulled the boat on the bank, and we were hanging out at the camper, and he said, "Hey, Dad, I've got to pee." I was like, "Okay, well, that's fine." And I'm tying the boat up, so I'm doing 4 or 5 things at once. And I was like, "It's fine, just go down into the lake and pee." I mean, you guys get it, right?
Yeah, sure.
What? Okay, he's like, "All right." And he went down toward the boat, and I turned around just to, check on him, make sure, 6-year-old kid's not drowned in a lake. And he's standing on the bank facing the lake with his swimming trunks all the way down. And he's got his hand on his hip, and he's just peeing.
Striking a pose, man. He was just proud of that.
And what's best about it is me being me. I took a picture of it.
Oh, you still have that picture.
And I've got that picture. It's a small one. It's in my bedroom, but he gets so mad about it. And I tell him, I'm like, one day you'll look back at this and you'll see the value and kind of that funny moment. It was great.
I love that. So
beat that, Brian.
I've only got one because, he's only like 2 weeks old. So after we got to the hospital Friday and he was born, and we were able to leave on Tuesday. And throughout however many nights that was, I maybe got 8 hours of sleep, and it wasn't consecutive. And I don't know if I had any business driving anyway, much less with a little baby. So I was really nervous walking out to the car. And it's raining, and this man had helped us get down to the car. I was holding the baby, and he was pushing Lacey in a wheelchair. He said, "All right, go get the car, and I'll bring them out to you." I said, "Okay." So I grabbed my keys, and I walk out to the car, and I push the fob, and it wasn't working on the car. And I'm thinking, okay, it's probably because it's sat here for 4 days without moving. And so I went to manually open it with the buttons on the handle, and the buttons weren't there. So I thought, this is really weird that someone like popped those buttons off, or anyway, it was the wrong car. I went up a little further, got in my actual car, pulled out, shaking and trembling. The baby's not even in the car yet. And I'm like going up towards the hospital, and there's this lady walking in the middle of the road, chain smoking. And I'm not wanting to start anything because, I'm scared, and I've got this little baby and everything. And so I just following behind this lady chain smoking down the road for what felt like forever until I was able to get him. And then we had the 50 miles an hour up 81 all the way home. My driving instructor would have been so proud, though. I was at 10 and 2 the entire time.
Did you have the road hazards on? Yeah. What really struck me about that story is it's probably not what you think, but it crossed your mind that someone stole the buttons off of your car.
That's how tired I was.
Before it crossed your mind, this isn't my car.
I was so tired. Like,
who stole my buttons?
I'm just like, I was just so far gone looking at this car going, and someone turned it into a Toyota.
I'm assuming that it was the same color.
It was the same color. It is an SUV. So Lacey has a Nissan Rogue we took.
Yeah.
A blue Nissan Rogue, and this was just a blue Toyota.
Close, but no cigar.
It was close, and it was parked generally in the same area.
Oh, by the way, Nissan Rogue does not sponsor this podcast. But if you want to, if you want to, what's up?
What's up?
So, Josh, I've always wanted to ask you if Nolan was named for Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I mean, yes and no. I was a big baseball person growing up, and I still am. Nolan Ryan was a big figure kind of toward the early years of my baseball time, but I was trying to get away from naming him after like myself or someone else. We got the advice, give him his own name or whatever. So then I was like, well, maybe like middle name. But we had already settled on Nolan, and my middle name's actually Ryan.
Oh,
and I didn't want to do that. So kind of what we did, since I'm spilling all the dirt on my child today, but he knows this story. Kind of what we did is Mom and I, we went to separate places and came up with a list of like 20 names, and we brought our info back together and we looked at it, and the ones in common we circled and got rid of the rest. And then we kind of just kept subdividing and ended up with Nolan.
See, we were a little different. We found out Lacey was pregnant the night before driving to Florida for vacation.
Terrible news.
I know. Drove 12 hours down to Florida, got there, hung out for a day, found out a hurricane was coming. I decided that my first act as a father was not going to be leave my pregnant wife in the middle of this hurricane. Headed back the next day. So between the 24-hour car ride and 3 days, we had a lot of stuff kind of planned out and names and everything.
Some of these names are crazy now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how these kids spell their names.
Got a DoorDash order the other night. Someone's name was Teawanna.
Say it again real slow.
Teawanna.
Tijuana. That's it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like Tijuana.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Tawana.
Tijuana, if you're listening.
We're so sorry.
Will you please email us at connect@AFI Advisors
or call us so we can hear it.
Yeah. Let us know. That's got to be what it is.
Yeah, I would imagine that's the way I pronounced it. I just thought it was interesting because of the way it was spelled.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's going on in your world these days? You've partnered up with Phil's Dream Pit. I know you're doing some stuff with Allman Enterprises, but why don't we talk about the food truck a little bit? Because we're super pumped about that. We like food trucks. We like food in general.
We like Phil's Dream Pit.
We do. So it seems like a great combination.
Yeah.
But
I'm really enjoying what Brian has named selling happiness. So I'm really enjoying that.
He is.
Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it.
I'm rubbing off on you. I like it.
Yeah, I spent most of my career in the IT industry, 30 plus years. Last year, the year before, the last few years, I've moved into marketing. I've always been kind of connected to marketing because I was in sales for so long that I knew most of the marketing skills. I'd just never been in the place where I was actually selling marketing. Right. I was doing marketing, but I wasn't selling marketing. So kind of did that for a while. But I was getting close to retirement. The company I was with needed to make some changes, so I left there, and with the idea of like, okay, I kind of put the question out there and said, "Hey, all right, God, what you got next for me? What's your plan?" So I was sitting in my favorite pub, having a beer, contemplating, what are you going to do next, Jerry? What's God got for you? And a friend had his little hot dog cart set up outside, and I just kind of had the thought in my mind, I wonder what it would be like to maybe just sell barbecue sandwiches off of just a little cart like that. Very simple, just keep it easy. Thought about that so much, I went to my friend Brian at Phil's Dream Pit and just asked him the question, would it be possible to buy food from you that I could then resell on a little cart? And he stopped in his tracks and looked at me dead serious and said, "Would you like a partner?" And I'm like, whoa. I don't even know if I want to do this yet.
We're talking ideas now.
I'm just kind of bouncing around just to say, is this something I want to dig deeper into? And he's like, no, I'm serious. I wanted to do this for 2 years. And I've not been able to find the right person to do it with. He said, and you're the right person.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, all right, God, where are we going? 30 days later, we had the food truck on the road.
It's wild.
It's divine intervention. It's honest.
So I'm
that's
like,
awesome.
all right, you lead, I'll follow. So, it's been, 6 months now? Been on the road. Food truck has been very popular. It's doing very well. Those first 2 winter months, December and January, were bitter cold and nasty, freezing temperatures.
Well, it's not the best season out of the gate for food truck, It
was a good learning experience.
Oh,
The demand was low.
Had some time to learn some
I
stuff.
would rather learn it there than in the good seasons here.
Yeah, so
we'll get everything handled.
Yeah, so I figured out, how to handle $200 or $300 worth of revenue in 3 hours versus last night I did about $1,200 in revenue in 3 hours. And that's some serious growth. So start a food truck. I said, it'll be fun. And it is fun. It's just way more work than you think it's going to be.
Oh man, I could imagine.
But, I love serving people. I have a servant's heart to begin with, and just to be able to get out and serve people and feed them and sell them some happiness, that's just wonderful. I love it.
He's going to have a sticker on his truck next week.
I think it every time. Well, the thing is I see you.
That's going on my website now.
I see you out and about all the time, and everybody in line's happy. You're smiling. Yeah. The food smells amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always, it looks like happiness. Yeah. Everybody there is happy.
I'm a people person. I love meeting people and talking to people, and I get a chance to do that every day now.
What's great is if you stand out in public with Jerry long enough, you'll have multiple people just yell, "Jerry!" and keep going by, and you're like, "Hey, I was here too."
My wife, we go to a restaurant for dinner somewhere, and my wife just shakes her head because no matter where we go, somebody says, "Hey, Jerry."
He's not signing autographs.
And they know he's busy too, so they just acknowledge him and keep going.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is really neat, because food trucks are all kind of a vibe type deal. It's a whole setting, a vibe, and people really like that. And one of the other things I like kind of about your food truck, if I'm not mistaken, there are things you can get on the food truck that you cannot get at the restaurant.
Right. And there are things at the restaurant that I don't have on the food truck. Number one, we started small. We want to make sure that it was going to work. So we started with a smaller trailer. So I have limited space. So I don't have the full complement of the restaurant.
And Jerry's a big dude.
You only have like half of it left, huh?
Yeah.
How tall are you, Jerry?
About 6'3".
That's big in my world.
Yeah.
In mine and Brian's world, that's
5'9".
big. Hey, I am 5'11".
And I'm 5'9", but we're the same height. So
carry on.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked out.
A few moments later.
So, where were we? I lost complete track.
You had a trailer.
So we started with a smaller trailer. And so we have a limited menu. So I carry pulled pork and pulled chicken, and I carry hot dogs. and I only carry 3 of our sides right now. And we are getting ready to expand that a little
What
bit.
are the 3 sides you have?
I have beans, coleslaw, and potato salad.
Nice.
We get a lot of requests for the macaroni salad, and a lot of requests for the mac and cheese, and a few requests for green beans. And I just don't have the space on the truck to hold all those things.
I think you picked the right 3, though.
Yeah. So I think we're going to be expanding the menu just a little bit sometime in June. If I can get it done in time, it'll be June 1st. But we're going to add a pork belly burnt-ends to the menu, and you'll be able to get those on tacos or nachos. We're gonna add mac and cheese, I think.
It's a good call on the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
So we're adding a couple of things, but
and you still have the variety of the barbecue sauces.
Yes, we
that's
carry
important for
carry
Phil.
all the sauces. Yeah,
because you like to try a different one with different things.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
So even though I only have pulled pork or pulled chicken as the primary meats right now, you can get those as a sandwich on as tacos or on nachos. And that seems to give quite a bit of variety.
And you've been going around everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Kind
I'm
of
all over the place.
Talk a little bit about, some of the places you end up and how people find you.
I get
website information and stuff. Yeah.
I do have a new website for the food truck. It's philsdreampit.com/food-truck.
Say it again. You have to say it 3 times, right? That's marketing.
philsdreampit.com/food-truck. Once again, that's philsdreampit.com/food-truck. We are
not redoing that, Jerry.
So you get the idea.
Say it faster now.
So
we're in some cheesy law commercial right now.
That's right.
Call 1-800. I need help.
Yeah, so at there you can see our complete menu for the food truck, and you can actually see our schedule where we're going to be. But I get most of our requests come in through Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
And a few via text and a few via phone call. But most of the time it's somebody reaching out through our Facebook page.
So we can follow you on Facebook, know about where you're going to be.
Please do.
And, do
Please
all that
do.
and reach out to you. Okay.
Or you can go to the website, and the schedule is right there on the website. I'll post daily where I'm at.
Okay.
How long I'm going to be there. And, that kind of thing. So
I like that.
Also available on DoorDash. So once I get set up somewhere, I go in and turn on DoorDash, and so I actually serve via DoorDash as well.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's a lot. That is no wonder you're working so much. That's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, I set up generally twice a day. I'll set up somewhere for the lunch period. That could be bank. Set up at manufacturing facilities, set up at schools. Of course, school is out, so that'll go away during the summer. But we set up at schools so that teachers can have an opportunity to get something to eat besides cafeteria food. In the evenings, a lot of the times I'm at the tap houses and breweries in the area. Johnson City, Kingsport, Jonesboro, Bristol. So just all over the Tri-Cities. One day, tomorrow night, actually, I'll be down in Greenville.
Okay.
Down there serving dinner. So
Gentry?
At the Gentry, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That seems like a really cool place.
It is, yeah.
It's
kind of an outdoor. It's downtown on Depot Street,
I
and
love
it's
those
kind
sorts
of
places.
It's an old spot where a building was at that had to be removed, so it's kind of in an alley of sorts.
Yeah,
it's just a little outdoor kind of beer garden type vibe.
Anything that you
on
can
Depot
go
Street.
Mm-hmm.
Have a cold beer outside on a good night. That's the best.
Yeah, it's a neat looking little place. I look forward to it. Meeting those guys and being there.
I look forward to you coming here on June 26th.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're excited about that. That'll be good.
I'm ready to go. So
we've dubbed it Piggy Banks and Pulled Pork.
That
you
works
had a
for
fun
me.
title for it. What was it?
Financially focused rooftop event.
If that doesn't draw them in, I don't know.
And now we know why I got out of marketing.
No, so we're actually we're doing that event on the 26th here at the office from 5 to 7, and we're actually partnering with Misty Hill, who you know Misty as well,
Misty.
Gill Mortgage, and they're going to kind of approach things from a homeowner, home loan investment side, and kind of piggyback on some of the things that we approach that angle with. And it's really geared toward real estate agents, investors, homeowners, anyone in that playing
Or someone
field.
wanting to be a homeowner.
Someone wanting to be a homeowner. There's a lot of ways to get homes, and there's a lot of ways to get good investments out of homes, and there's smart plays and there's bad plays, and it's
all these
a lot of
different
moving
groups.
parts that we're trying to connect for folks.
Yeah, and like Misty's group, they do a really good job helping people on a customized individual basis, kind of like we do, kind of like Beyond Benefits and stuff like that. And anytime you can bring a group of people together that can use their core competencies to help others, that's what we try to do a whole lot. And
That's really cool.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know how to sell a house.
Yeah, it seems like it's way out of the box, for what you would
is.
expect a financial planning company to do.
But, buying your house is one of the biggest financial decisions most of us make in our lifetimes. So it'd be
Absolutely.
silly to not pretend like that was a big part of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So
I think
we're
it's
going to kind of pair that up with, utilizing the rooftop that we haven't been able to use yet that we have up there. So just seemed like a good time for a big summer event, and barbecue just fits
Yeah.
the mold.
Yeah,
It's right there. So we're gonna
Truth
eat
be
some.
told, we thought barbecue first, and then the rest of it was kind of built around that.
It's gonna be very laid back. We're just gonna eat some food. There'll be some drinks, refreshments. We'll have some music, and then I think both parties will share for maybe 15 minutes or so a piece about some of the things to be on the lookout for if you're a homeowner, a realtor, or an investor. So email us at connect@afiadvisors.com to RSVP. So here's the thing now. How do you feel like you do under pressure?
How do I do under pressure?
Yeah, it's not a trick question.
Judging off of your answer to that question,
Not
Jerry.
good.
Yeah.
Because it's a lightning round.
I don't know. Sometimes okay, sometimes not so good.
You got to hear the music in the background and everything is just going.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is your moment.
So how does this lightning round thing work?
All right, Jerry. So in the lightning round, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. They're probably the 3 most important questions you've been asked all day. The trick is answer them as quick as you can. There's no right or wrong answer, but there is.
Especially if you're slow, you got to be quick.
Is there a buzzer if I get out of line? Or
There is a buzzer. Don't be that guy, Jerry. Don't be the buzzer guy. Don't make me do it. Okay, question number 1. What is the best breakfast cereal of all time?
best breakfast cereal of all time? Honeycombs.
It's crazy.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
honeycombs.
honeycombs. Best
What's
of all
was
time.
honeycombs crazy?
It's all of these because we talked about it on the previous podcast with Drew. We talked about, we ask everyone this question. We never get the same answer. It's crazy.
It depends on your childhood and
Yeah,
what
that's true.
you remember from when you were a kid and what you had good experiences
All
with.
right. Well, we know Jerry's a bowl deep in honeycombs.
A big bowl, what
bowl.
I call a Jethro bowl.
Mixing bowl.
That's right.
Okay, good. See how easy that was?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, question number 2. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, one superpower.
Ability to answer questions quickly.
Right.
Sorry.
Wow,
such a punk.
that's a hard question, Josh. One superpower.
You don't ever think about having a superpower.
I don't. I don't.
Why would you? He's Jerry. He's a set.
If I had one superpower, to make my wife happy.
There you
That's
have it,
super
folks.
sweet.
That's super sweet. We're going to make sure she hears this. Okay, the last question. If someone were to say something about you, what would you hope that they would say?
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah,
That's the answer right there. Oh man,
I
like
Wow.
it. Oh, man.
So-
Jerry, wow.
Yeah, so I think it was, I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday morning, I was actually thinking about that. What would I want people to say about me? And the thing that kept coming to my mind was, number one, I want God to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," and I want people to say about me that I was a godly man and I was just a really good guy. It just came.
That tracks, Jerry.
Yeah, I think that
just came
people do
down.
say that about you. Like
It
I've
just
heard
came
that.
down to that. I just hope people say, "Man, he was a really good guy."
Yeah.
I can promise you they do say that. I have
Thank
heard
you.
that, yes.
Thank you.
Well, Jerry, you survived the lightning round.
All
Wasn't
right,
so
well,
bad. We're coming up on the tail end here, but I do want to thank you for coming in and chatting. This was fun, and I knew it would be. There's always a different vibe when you get with someone you know. It makes this process go a lot smoother. So thank you for that.
Well, I
as
really
well.
thank you for having me. So I'm just thrilled to be here. So that was.
We look
that's
forward-
not just
Right.
just not words. I'm absolutely happy and thrilled that I got to do this with you.
Well, Jerry, thank you
Thank you
again.
so much.
We look forward to seeing you on the 26th. Brian, you got some closing remarks?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Congratulations on
Thank you.
the baby.
Thank you.
Nothing deep and profound from.
No.
from
We don't
mine.
want to leave the
I don't have
listeners
it,
with
guys.
any.
I'll get back to
any,
you on that
like-
after I get a little sleep.
You don't want to leave them with any like stat or ratio.
No,
or
I'll
something
come up
like
with
that.
something for next time. You can hold me to that one.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Be sure to check us out at afiadvisors.com. Follow us on all of our social channels to keep up with what we're doing. Trying to put some good content out there for you to enjoy. So until next time, we'll see you later.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bullseye Podcast. Do you want to sponsor the show or maybe even be a guest? Contact us at connect@afiadvisors.com to get the conversation started. Thank you for all of the continued support.